You are listening to One-on-One.
Joining me once again is Dave Butch with Extraordinary Health Coaching. Dave, how are you doing today?
I am breaking through barriers today, Jim.
Well, somebody has to, right? Not just smoking the band and going through those roadblocks. Right?
Blazing trails.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about those different barriers. I know I've talked to a lot of motivational and health coaches, or even myself when I'm talking to people and saying, hey, when you're wanting to do this, but you always hear one of the number one complaints that I get, or one of the number one distractions, we'll call it, is I don't have enough time. And I go, well, you don't have enough time. What are you doing all day? Well, maybe look at your schedule and, worst case scenario, schedule a time.
Right.
I don't know. Tell me about this.
Yeah, I think that when it really comes down to it, it's not a time issue, Jimmy. It's really a value and a priority issue, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we all have 24 hours in a day. We all got 168 hours in a week. And if we really went through there and we audited what we were doing with our time, we would find that we do have the time, but it's just not a value or it's not a priority. It's too easy to say, I've got an excuse. And what I would challenge people to do is, if you really want to change your health or change your life or your career, is to not think of it as a barrier, but to think of it as an opportunity. And say, you know what, rather than saying I don't have the time, say, how can I find the time? If you say I can't afford it, a whole different perspective is, how can I afford it? Because that's a possibility thinker. It's somebody that's actually looking for an opportunity to overcome the barrier versus just giving an excuse.
Well, and you don't always have to go to a gym. I mean, it's walking around your neighborhood. It's just doing something in your living room. And to be honest with you, I got to the point, when I lost weight and then I would find my own barriers, or I didn't have time to go to the gym. And I found for me, I said, you know what? If I'm going to be serious about this, I have to schedule it on my calendar, which I do. So I do a morning show. When I get done with the morning show, the first thing I do is go to the gym. Nothing interrupts that, because that's what I have to do to then go and finish the rest of my day.
Right. You have to prioritize it. And really, it doesn't take that much time, especially when you're in a hurry. And again, you can end up putting it into your life with what you can do versus focusing in on all the things you can't do. So I like to ask people, what can you do? Can you prepare some healthy snacks on a Sunday prior to the week starting? If you're really busy during the week, could you take Sunday, and when you go grocery shopping, could you stop and spend 30 minutes to portion size out some smaller snacks? Could you end up prioritizing a 15-minute walk over your lunch hour? Could you change one of your meetings at work from a sit down in a meeting room, one-on-one, to actually go for a walk? That was one of the craziest things. I thought that this guy was a little bit weird when he asked me one time, when we normally sat down for a meeting, he said, Dave, do you want to go for a walk and talk versus sitting here at the meeting? And I thought, that sounds really odd. You and I are going to go for a walk outside and talk? Like, it was just outside of my comfort zone to think about that I could go for a walk and get the same thing accomplished as that being at a conference room. But it took one person challenging me to the point where I'm like, hey, that's not that bad, and it's actually nice outside. Let's do that more often.
So was it the walk, or was it the skipping along the lilies as you were going for?
The holding hands was a little bit awkward, but no, I'm kidding. But that was my fear, is it was going to be like, well, this isn't normal. People don't do this. But you know what? To get healthy, we got to create a new kind of normal. We have to learn to turn the barriers into hurdles and just climb right over them. And if we can end up going with other people and finding other people that want to get healthy, and oftentimes that's just an invitation. Want to go for a walk with me?
And the meeting, if it's not one where you're having to put something in an iPad or write down, it's just a discussion, there's no reason why you couldn't walk and have that meeting at the same time.
Right. I've even had opportunities where, and again, everybody's different in their work, but if you have the opportunity to do a phone call, you might take some earbuds and do a phone call while you're walking. You may be huffing and puffing, but if you told somebody that you were out there walking because you had to, because your life and your health and your family and all your opportunities meant more to you than what somebody thought about you huffing and puffing on the phone, again, that's a priority issue. It's not a time issue.
Actually, what's funny is I've taken calls while I was walking, and they were business calls. And I said, hey, I'm walking while I'm talking to you. And I didn't have to explain it. They were just like, okay, no problem. And we just walked along, had the conversation, and I still finished my walk-in.
Yeah, look at me. I'm doing deep knee bends right now and jogging in place, and you can hardly even tell.
Well, something else I even thought about with going to the gym, I didn't even look at going to the gym as going and working out. I looked at it as another networking opportunity because you're meeting people, and depending on what you do, if you're in sales or different things, it's a way to meet more people and the possibilities of clients or other things that, or someone that might know someone that could use the service that you have.
Yeah, and some of it's just social fun too. Some people don't like to go to a gym, and that's okay, but maybe it's the idea of going out there and throwing the frisbee around or throwing the ball around, or just going to a place where you could ride a bike. If that's something that you haven't done in a while, it's kind of fun to get back on a bike and ride around a little bit. And there's the three-wheelers if you need to.
Absolutely. I need the training wheels over here, please. We're talking with Dave Bush with Extraordinary Health Coaching. So, Dave, if they want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
They can check us out on the web. We got all kinds of cool health coaching videos at ehealthcoaching.com. That's the letter E, the word health, and the word coaching followed by .com.
Thank you for listening to One on One.